It started with my grandparents, who my grandfather transferred to NCCU in Durham, where he met my grandmother, who was in an education major just like he was. My grandmother was a little bitty. She wore a size 3 shoe, little bitty feet, and she just feisty. She was feisty, but she was a sweetheart. She would feed anyone and everyone. If you were hungry, you came to our house for a meal. And it passed down to my mother. Like, all my friends called her mom. All my daughter's friends called her grandma. Like, it just became this big thing that if you needed someone to talk to, you came to my mom. If you needed any type of advice. I had heard about my grandparents and my mom and everyone marching. My grandparents always felt like that was their civic responsibility. They would go to Greensboro or wherever, and they would take my mom, my aunt, and my uncle. My mom always said she wanted to do it, that she felt like she needed to, but it didn't really trigger with me what that was. I had to be probably 3rd grade. I was invited to a birthday party from a classmate. At first I didn't think I was invited. I didn't figure out why I was the only one really in the class that didn't get an invite. The week leading up to the party on the weekend, I finally got my invitation. Apparently, the girl's mom had to come by our neighborhood to see where I lived before I could get an invite. Up until then, I had no clue. Like, I didn't know that there was a difference between me and her. I just thought we were both kids, both girls. I didn't realize because I was black and she was white that there was a difference. It's just a hard reality. My entire life, I didn't talk like everyone. I didn't act like everyone. So I had to learn a lot. Took me years, but I had to learn a lot to fit in. My mother would always tell me, you have to work twice as hard just to be seen and just to have the same opportunities. Like, you have to be twice as good. When President Obama was elected, to show, she was like, excellence. Like, you have to be better. For some reason, I thought that when Obama was elected, then the entire country was shifting to see that there is value in people of color. The first 4 years, it seemed like everyone was trying to be back on the same page, but that didn't last. It didn't stay.
Who would you say has made the biggest impact on your life?
My mother. It's got to be my mother. It's got to be. I think just her philosophy and her outlook of life is the one that made the biggest impact. She would always say that she was my biggest fan, and she was. Every time I would get upset or think, I can't do this, she would say, failure is not an option. And, some days I'd be like, that's just harsh. Like, some days I want to quit. Some days I want to fail. She said, quitting is not an option either. Alamance County is special. Alamance County takes care of its own. Growing up here, the Black community took care of each other and kind of raised each other and looked out. And it would be nice if the kids today could experience that.